This is the story of Fallout New Vegas 2, why everyone thinks the game is coming and what's actually true and what's not. I spent days digging through everything available and doing research, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly what's confirmed and what's pure speculation. Fans have been begging for a sequel to one of the most beloved Fallout games ever made for over a decade now, and this year a series of major developments has convinced a lot of people that it's actually real this time. From key developers returning to Obsidian, to a New Vegas-focused TV show, to mentions of multiple Fallout projects in the works. And by the end of the video, you will know what's confirmed, what's rumor, and what the studios are actually saying behind all the hype. Okay, first let's talk about why New Vegas still matters. So, Fallout New Vegas is a fan favorite for sure, and I am one of those fans as well. The game hit shelves in October 2010 and moved around 5 million copies within weeks. It pulled in roughly $300 million in revenue, and it became one of Bethesda's biggest launches at the time. Fast forward to 2025, and the estimates put it at roughly around 12 million copies sold, which is really massive for a game that was never even the mainline numbered entry in the series. Critics gave it an 84 out of 100 on Metacritic, based on dozens of reviews, with some outlets handing out perfect scores and praising its writing, faction design, and meaningful player choice. And among players, New Vegas remains the go-to example when people talk about Fallout working as a true RPG, especially compared to more streamlined entries that came later. And here's the most infamous part. Bethesda offered Obsidian a $1 million bonus if the game hit 85 or higher on Metacritic, and it landed at 84, just 1 point short. That almost but not quite moment has become part of the game's legend and feeds into the feeling that Obsidian never fully got rewarded for what it brought to the franchise. Let's talk about how New Vegas was built. Part of what makes New Vegas legendary is how Obsidian pulled it together. The game got announced in April 2009 and shipped in October 2010, which gave the team roughly 18 months to deliver a massive open-world RPG. Bethesda's internal team was already neck-deep in building the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, so instead of developing another Fallout themselves, they contracted Obsidian and handed over the tech and assets from Fallout 3. And despite the crushing timeline, Obsidian loaded the project with RPG talent. Josh Sawyer directed it, John Gonzalez took on the lead creative designer and lead writer duties, and Chris Avellone drove key DLC like Dead Money, Old World Blues, and Lonesome Road. And as a result, we got a game that leaned hard into player choice and branching outcomes, and the setting helped to sell it. New Vegas unfolds in the Mojave Desert around the post-apocalyptic Las Vegas, with the battle for Hoover Dam sitting at the epicenter of it. The new California Republic, Caesar's Legion, Mr. House, and the option for an independent career each represent different paths for the region's future, and the game supports multiple endings based on how you play. That layered, political, choose-your-ending structure is exactly what makes the idea of returning to the Mojave so appealing to fans, and also what makes it tricky to pull off again. Okay, so why does 2025 have everyone convinced that New Vegas 2 is coming? John Gonzalez, the original New Vegas lead writer and creative design lead, rejoined Obsidian in February 2025 after almost 15 years away from the studio, and seeing his name back at Obsidian instantly triggered speculation that something New Vegas related might be in the works. And then in early December 2025, Tim Kaine, one of the original creators of Fallout, announced that he had returned to Obsidian as a full-time, in-person employee, rather than just a contractor. He confirmed he's working on a new project under a non-disclosure agreement, And for a lot of fans, the phrase Fallout's creator is back at Obsidian sounded like the opening act of a New Vegas 2 announcement. On top of that, the Fallout TV show on Amazon is now playing directly in New Vegas's backyard. Season 1 dropped in 2024 and became a critical hit. It racked up a Rotten Tomatoes score in the high 90s, along with multiple Emmy nominations and a win for music supervision. Amazon showed just how confident they were by greenlighting Season 3 before Season 2 even aired, and Season 2, which will begin releasing on December 17, 2025 in just a week or so, is set in and around New Vegas and the Mojave. The season features the New Vegas setting, references Caesar's Legion and the Brotherhood of Steel, and brings back the Kings, the Elvis-inspired gang from the game, who are now depicted as ghouls. Iconic locations like the Mojave and New Vegas itself take center stage throughout the season. And add to all of this, a July 2025 report claiming there are multiple Fallout projects in development, including something that players are waiting for. And so it's easy to see how the community convinced itself that New Vegas 2 was quietly happening behind the scenes. Guys, if you're enjoying the video, please subscribe to the channel. Clicking that subscribe button really makes a huge difference and allows me to continue making content like this. Okay, back to the video. The old rumors that won't die. A lot of the modern New Vegas 2 narrative actually started years ago. Back in March 2022, journalist Jeff Grubb mentioned there were early talks between Xbox and Obsidian about a Fallout New Vegas 2 type project. With Microsoft owning both Bethesda and Obsidian, that naturally sounded plausible, and the idea spread fast across the community. But here's the thing, as of late 2025, that comment is almost 4 years old, and nothing concrete has ever followed it. There's been no reveal, no title, no official confirmation from Bethesda, Obsidian, or Microsoft, and more recent statements from the studios now point in a completely different direction. In the meantime, a wave of videos and posts has piled on with supposed leaks about a gritty 2026 Obsidian game tied to New Vegas. These usually rely on anonymous sources, vague hints, or recycled information and aren't backed by any verifiable announcement. Even the multiple Fallout projects line from 2025 is extremely vague and could easily refer to Fallout 5, remasters, mobile projects, or other spin-offs. The rumors exist, but they don't match up with what the developers are actually saying right now. What Obsidian is really doing? In November 2025, Obsidian's leadership finally addressed the question everyone keeps asking. Marcus Morgan, the studio's VP of Operations, said that everyone on the internet, on every game we announce, asks when's the next Fallout New Vegas, and then he explained that all 3 of the games Obsidian is currently working on are based on IP and the studio itself created. He drew a contrast with the studio's past, when Obsidian often worked on other companies' franchises. Now, being under Microsoft, they're focusing on building and expanding their own universes, and are at the point where they can make sequels to those worlds rather than to licensed IP. That's a strong signal that their roadmap is built around games like Avowed and The Outer Worlds, not Fallout. Justin Bridge, Obsidian's VP of Development, added that Xbox has been supportive of the projects Obsidian wants to pursue, which reinforces that this direction is intentional and not something forced from the outside. And here's where it gets clearer. The 2 names everyone points to as proof of New Vegas 2 have already set expectations. When John Gonzalez rejoined Obsidian in early 2025, he stated that his new role is on a different project, not Fallout New Vegas 2. When Tim Kaine discussed his return, he said he's under NDA and then added, "Don't bother guessing because you're not going to guess right," which strongly suggests he's not working on the obvious fan theory project. Taken together, the on-record reality is that Obsidian is focusing on original IP, and that neither Gonzalez nor Kaine has publicly tied their current work to a New Vegas sequel. What Bethesda is planning. On the Bethesda side, the next big step for the Fallout franchise is Fallout 5, not New Vegas 2. Fallout 5 has been confirmed as part of Bethesda Game Studios' long-term roadmap, but it's scheduled to come after The Elder Scrolls 6, Todd Howard has said the story for Fallout 5 has already been sketched out, and that certain ideas were held back from the TV show because they're reserved for future games. The catch is timing, and that timing is brutal. The Elder Scrolls 6 is still in pre-production and is expected sometime in the later 2020s. Bethesda's major RPGs typically take several years to develop, which puts Fallout 5 realistically in the early 2030s at best. On Fallout Day 2025, fans hoping for a surprise new Fallout game announcement instead got updates and bundles for existing titles, while Howard simply said they were working on even more Fallout content without specifying what that meant. Right now, there's no official indication that Bethesda is planning a separate New Vegas-style spin-off in the Mojave on top of Fallout 5. How the TV show treats New Vegas. The TV show is a big reason everyone feels like New Vegas is back, but the showrunners are handling it carefully. Season 2 is set in and around New Vegas about 15 years after the events of the game. It brings back the region, shows factions like the Kings as ghouls, and hints at the state of groups like Caesar's Legion and the NCR's legacy. The showrunners have described their approach as using a fog of war, which means they deliberately avoid confirming which ending of Fallout New Vegas is canon. You see the consequences and the changed state of the Mojave, but you're never told outright who won the Second Battle of Hoover Dam. That keeps the door open for future games without locking the timeline into one path, but it's not the same thing as announcing a sequel. What's real and what's not? So here's the bottom line on all of this. What's real is that Fallout New Vegas is a 2010 game that sold millions of copies, narrowly missed a Metacritic bonus, and earned a reputation as the most reactive, choice-driven Fallout title ever made. In 2025, key figures like John Gonzalez and Tim Kaine have returned to Obsidian. The Fallout TV show is spending a whole season in New Vegas, and there's talk of multiple Fallout projects being worked on somewhere. What's not real, at least based on anything confirmed, is the idea that Fallout New Vegas 2 is currently in active development. Obsidian's leadership says their slate is focused on IP they own. Gonzalez has said his new project is not New Vegas 2, and Kaine has hinted that fans are guessing wrong about what he's working on. Bethesda is aiming at Fallout 5 after the Elder Scrolls 6, which puts it on a very long timeline stretching into the next decade. The rumors about a secret 2026 New Vegas sequel, anonymous leaks, and the assumption that the TV show's success automatically equals a game announcement are not backed by verifiable facts. Right now, the hype is real, the love for New Vegas is absolutely real, but the sequel people are imagining is still not something any studio has actually announced. If that ever changes, it'll be one of the biggest moments in modern RPG history. But until someone officially says the words, Fallout New Vegas 2 lives in the same place it's lived for years, not on a release schedule, but in fan wishes and what-if conversations. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to check out this one where I talk about Fallout 4 and its new anniversary edition.